Recent news from Wishbone Gold is the securing of funding and a second drill rig for its Red Setter Gold Dome project in Western Australia. To talk about the project and the stage of development it's at, we're delighted to be joined by Chief Executive and Chairman Richard Poulden and Chief Geologist Ed Mead, who is Director of the company's Western Australia subsidiary. So thank you, gentlemen. Now, Richard, for those unfamiliar with the company, what is the Red Setter Gold Dome project? How did you get it? Where is it at? What's the strategy?
Sarah, good morning. Good to see you as always. Basically, this is a property that we acquired a couple of years ago from somebody else in the region, Rob Jewson, who's a good friend of ours, who got shares in Wishbone as a result of us taking over the property. And we've had fits and starts in the exploration program. Basically until Ed took complete control of everything and pulled it together in the last 12 months. We've had a lot of help from Newcrest in the past. They were tremendous in helping us with data and in particular introducing us to expert geophysics. Now, expert geophysics have a system called MMT, which can be run when they did our surveys, they were running it from aeroplanes. Now they're running it from drones. And it has increased in sophistication by leaps and bounds. As a company, they've expanded tremendously. So they're doing a lot of work for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia at the moment, which is doing a whole mineral exploration program. And basically, the expert geophysics analysis of Red Setter suggested that there was mineralization and a dome, which we've called the Red Setter Dome. And as a quick summary, nobody except Ed, me, and David Lenigas actually believed that all of this would work.
You mentioned David Lenigas there. Some retail investors know who he is and what his expertise is, but others don't. So if you can explain why you've mentioned him and why he's important.
I mentioned Dave there because he's an old friend of mine and is an advisor to the company, which is well known. He's an old friend of Ed's as well, actually. And he's very experienced in mining and minerals. So it's great to have his advice on board.
And it's obviously great to have Ed on board as well. So Ed, Richard said that over the last 12 months, you've pulled everything together. So what are you doing? What are you doing with the company? And talk to me about this dome. Is it concave or is it the other way around in terms of its shape and visualization?
So Red Setter Dome from Expert Geophysics showed this domal feature in the basement. We also had a coincident gravity high that ran along this. So the drilling that had happened in the past several years was focused on a diorite or magnetic feature that's about half a kilometre to a kilometre to the northwest. And that's where most of the drilling was undertaken previously. And we know along that structure, we were getting grades up to 7 meters at 2 grams gold, 0.4 copper. So we know that there's mineralization within the system. The Expert Geophysics MMT survey showed a very prospective domal feature 500 meters to the southwest, and never had been drilled before. And like with this gravity feature, we looked at it and with words from Expert Geophysics saying that it was one of the best targets they'd seen in 2023, having geophysicists sort of like stake their name to something, you can, and knowing that there's mineralization in the system, we looked at it and just went, this is a really highly prospective target. So most of the work has then been to get all the approvals in place, get a diamond rig on site, re-enter some existing RC holes that were too short, and that's when we intersected the Breccia in the first hole. So at this point, drilling continues, and it's exciting times.
Talk to me about what a breccia pipe is and why it's important.
So effectively, it's the upwelling of the fluids that are coming up under pressure, and it's creating essentially it's breaking off fragments of the country rock, and then you're getting interstitial or fluids that are around, quartz, carbonate, with background sulfides of some chalcopyrite and pyrite. So it's basically a mineralized feature, and like saying, this is about half a kilometre from where we got results back in 2023.
Now, you've got a second drill rig. Drill rigs are like gold dust. How did you manage to secure one, and why do you want one?
So we've been chatting. So we're using core drilling services to do the diamond drilling, and they also have RC rigs. So we've been talking to them for a little while about the benefits of having an RC rig on two fronts really. One is that for further diamond drilling, it allows us to be able to do pre-collars, which will speed up drilling. And there's also the other intercepts that would like to follow up along the diorite dike. Like, as I said before, the 7 meters at 2 grams gold, zero point 0.4 copper, where we can, from a depth of about 270 meters, where we can follow that up quite quickly with an RC rig. So it's about speeding up, getting results from Red Setter.
Okay, before I go back to Richard, Ed, is Red Setter a major player, or does it have the potential to be a major player in an already established gold district?
No, absolutely. And I think the thing here is that we do have plans to expand mobile MT over a greater area. We're only 20 kilometres from Telfer. It's a plus 20 million tonne per annum plant. The grades we've got around the diorite are better than the grades that they're mining at Telfer. The area of that we've got to investigate is sizable. When we look at the footprint of Havieron, that Greatland gold discovered, that easily fits within what we're drilling at the moment. So yeah, very exciting times.
Hey, Richard, so Ed's just said there that you're looking to potentially expand what you've got, but does Wishbone have any other assets which are being explored concurrent to Red Setter, or is Red Setter the singular focus at the moment?
Red Setter is the main focus for all our exploration at the moment. I think it's chasing fool's gold for small companies to go and drill everywhere, all over the countryside. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So we are focused on Red Setter. We do have other assets which are all set out on our website, some in Queensland, which we're not pursuing at the moment, and Cottesloe, of course, further to the south from Red Setter in WA. But Red Setter is undoubtedly our focus.
So, Richard, what's your view on the precious metals market? Is it undergoing a correction? And, can gold keep breaching record levels? And would Red Setter still be a viable commercial entity, even if gold prices were less frothy?
Well, the quick answer to that, Sarah, is I'll send you my note that I wrote 10 years ago on what was going to happen to the gold price and why. So my target for gold is $10,000 an ounce.
And why is that?
Well, because essentially for many years, the United States supported the dollar by selling gold into the London market. That was acquired primarily by China. And you will see a gold-backed renminbi launched, I would think, within 2 years.
Okay, that's it in a summary. You must send me that paper. But here we have.
It's not really our subject for this morning, but I mean, the gold price, well, you say, is the gold price going to fall? No, the gold price is not going to fall. The other thing, actually, is don't forget these prices are in inflated fiat currencies. So a dollar is not worth today in purchasing power what it was worth even last year, let alone 10 years ago. So you've got to take that into account.
So, Ed, price of gold currently at 4,000 US dollars, roughly thereabouts. Just to pick up on the question that I asked Richard, should the price of gold fall? Richard doesn't think it's going to. Is Red Setter still commercial at levels just below 4,000 US dollars per troy ounce?
So at around 4,000, 1 gram of gold in Australian dollars is 200 Australian dollars per gram. Mining operation costs normally are about, per ton would be in the vicinity of, high costs have gone up, $80 a ton for processing, potentially, 40, 50 for mining. You're still looking at a massive margin. So, in short, yes, it has a lot of potential.
Okay, so you've been really busy over the last 12 months. We're approaching the end of 2025, Ed. What's the exploration plan as we approach the end of the calendar year? Now, I know that the end of the calendar year for you in Australia it starts to get pretty hot there. Will temperatures impact what's achieved at Red Setter?
So the slowdown in the Paterson's area around Telfer, or is essentially cyclones. So we will have warning, but we have no intention of stopping.
Okay.
So the plan at this point is obviously stop for Christmas, New Year, and then straight back into it straight away after January. Uh, Effectively, it's like we can work around rain events, and if we need to, we'll use a helicopter to get people in and out.
Richard, I'm going to be devil's advocate. What will the company do if Red Setter doesn't live up to expectations and it disappoints or it fails?
We have other properties, but I think it's highly unlikely at this point that Red Setter will be a total failure. You should look at the other properties in the region. Telfer, the main mine that's now owned by Greatland, is what is that Ed? It's quite a low gold ratio, isn't it, in Telfer?
I was going to say is that you can add in is that we've also massively expanded our footprint in the area, and we know that we've intersected gold along the diorite. So with the expansion of plans for exploration, it will be Red Setter plus whatever we find in the greater tenure that we've acquired this year. So we do really have quite a large footprint, which we've put out in previous news releases.
So finally, Richard, this year has been described by one of my peers as one of AIM's most eye-catching turnarounds in 2025, from the depths of regulatory suspension to a fourfold share price gain in August. So will 2026 be calmer, or what are the headlines likely to be about? A tier one discovery?
Oh, Sarah, I think 2026 is going to be far more exciting. Don't you think so? Don't you hope so? We all do. We all do.
Yes, I've just got to read that paper that you wrote 10 years ago, and we all look forward to the price of gold hitting those highs of 10,000 US dollars. Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Richard Poulden and Ed Mead of Wishbone Gold, thank you very much indeed.
Sarah, as always, good to see you. Thank you so much.